everyone, Blaze here, welcome back to another anime haul video. Today we're going to be doing no themes. This isn't a Discotek haul, an ADV haul, or whatever haul. This is just a normal haul. This is just a bunch of stuff from a bunch of different companies. I used to own this in the art box. There's a couple of things here, two actually, very specifically, that I used to own in the art box and sold off recently just because while I liked the art box for this release, like I really did, it's a really beautiful set and the volumes looked really cool, I just don't have the space for it, you know, and this edition exists. It's on less discs, so I've got a bitrate issue I suppose, but I don't know. I picked up Claymore, the complete series, on DVD. I know it has a Blu-ray release. I don't remember the Blu-ray looking that great. It probably would have been fine, but the Blu-ray is really expensive now. At least, well, yeah, actually, I used to own it on Blu-ray. I used to have the UK set that Anime Limited did on Blu-ray. It came like a nice limited edition box, but I sold that because I just didn't think it looked particularly great on Blu-ray. Again, like, it was obviously an upscale, just wasn't a particularly good looking upscale for me. So I sold that because I had it in the art box and I liked the way the art box looked. I'll find some pictures of my old art box. I'm sure I've still got the photos when I sold it. Really nice looking set, but one that I bought brand new. Like, I had everything. I bought it when it was cheap on Right Stuff, but I had everything for it brand new, so it was in really nice condition. But ultimately, like, as much as I like this show, it just wasn't one that I could justify having take up so much space on the shelves and stuff when I could get a nice compact edition. So this is the original Anime Classics release on DVD. There was I think it was like this and literally Gantz and maybe one other. I think X, the complete TV series as well, got an Anime Classics release, which was literally just exactly how it always should have been. Just a normal looking release with the proper logos and everything, and no crappy black borders everywhere and all that garbage. Like, it just had a sticker on it just saying Anime Classics. What was wrong with that? Why couldn't we just had that? There's so many Anime Classics releases I would love to have on the shelf because of how compact they are, but I absolutely detest how they look. Like, so many of the re-releases that Funimation did for like Genian titles, like Texnalize I have in the art box. I would have loved to have gotten a compact release like this for Texnalize, but yeah, I just hate, I mean, this is an old thing on this channel, but I just hate how Anime Classics releases looked. Anyway, so I picked up Claymore. There is also a DVD release that came with all 6 discs on the volumes that was a little bit more compact. It's a little bit wider than this. I think it was like basically equivalent of like 2 DVD cases. But again, I don't know, there was just something about it, just like, this edition looks fine, yeah, it's on less discs, but I'll probably survive. I mean, it's a bit of a weird compromise to make, because I'm like, oh, the Blu-ray didn't look very good upscale, so let's get a version that's only on 4 discs and will be bitrate strangled as a result. But, yeah. At least I believe this is only on 4 discs, I'm pretty darn sure. Anyway, here's the packaging. I just really like the packaging for this. It did get an Anime Classics, like, border black crap thing, but yeah, this is like the original release with the sticker, and I tried to find this on eBay in relatively good condition and was eventually able to do so. So yeah, it's on 4 discs. Nothing to write home about in terms of disc art. But yeah, a show that I would like to rewatch this year. It's been a while. I've only seen it the one time. That's sort of the crazy thing as well. It kind of a bit mad how many times I've bought certain shows despite only having really watched them once, sort of thing. There's only so much time, and there's always, you know, there's so much anime out there. You end up putting and investing tons of money and worrying about how much space they take up and all this. And like I've owned Claymore 3 different times now. Like I said, I had the art box, which I've now sold, and bought this, but I also had it on Blu-ray at one point. Like, I've owned it 3 times. I put money into it 3 times. But I've only watched it once so far. So yeah, I need to rectify that. A rewatch of this is definitely on the cards. Yeah, Claymore. And then I guess we'll jump into exactly the same thing again, because I did it all for the same reasons. I had this in the art box. It was a nice art box as well. Like, every volume came with like a slip cover. The art box itself wasn't chipboard, but it was relatively well made. It was like really thick card. Or it's like folded card. It had like this air pocket in the folds and stuff. I don't know, but it looked relatively nice. And again, the slip covers on the volumes are really cool. But ultimately, it's a show that I remember really liking, and I was like really invested into. But I don't know how likely it was I was going to rewatch it. But so it was one I wasn't necessarily going to replace, but the compact edition, part of the Viridian collection, this one, but yeah, the compact edition of this was so cheap. Still now you can get this for like $10-15. So I was like, well, I'll just replace it with that. So I picked up Solty, the complete collection. So it's a Gonzo show from about 2004-2005, I believe. It's like a sci-fi series. This guy here is like a detective or something, and he's or is he like a gun for hire? I can't remember. But he's like lost. He lost his daughter and his partner, maybe, to something that happened in the city. And then like when he's on a job, he ends up coming across this girl here with green hair, who's I think some sort of android sort of thing. And he ends up sort of unwittingly becomes like her guardian. And then there's a lot more stuff that comes up later on from his past and all that, and it all sort of intertwines, and it's pretty good. But yeah, Solty Ray, not like the craziest cover, to be honest, like just a bland brick wall in the background. But yeah, you got the big orange spine. This is in decent condition. There's a slight crease on the spine. It's not crazy. Yeah, Solty Ray. I don't know, from Gonzo. From the period of when Gonzo were putting out shows all the time, and Funimation were licensing and dubbing them all at the time as well. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. I don't really know what to say about it. It's just been so long since I've watched it. But this is a relatively nice edition. Like I said, it's very cheap. I really like these old Funimation sets that come in like the 2 fin packs like this. They always did really nice artwork on them. And just like, it's hard to find these in great condition. That's the one downside of it. On the second-hand market, some people just absolutely, it's like they just put them in tumble dryers and washing machines and stuff. It feels like they're just insanely damaged so often. So it is hard to find them in good condition. But when you can find them in pretty good condition like this, I really like these sets. They're fun. So yeah, just one I had in the art box and decided to downgrade. I put it in my sci-fi section for now. It's weird because I got it yesterday, and I was just like, man, I've never had to decide what section this goes in, because I've only ever owned it in the art box. And I was like, I'm actually not sure. I think sci-fi, it could possibly go into superpowers. There are elements of that in the show, but I went with sci-fi. It kind of feels out of place in sci-fi to me, but I don't know if that's just because it has like a bright orange spine and it just doesn't feel right. Most sci-fi shows on my shelf are all like black and stuff, because that's just like the colour, I guess, like black or white. But yeah, whatever, I don't know what I'm going on about now. So yeah, that's Solty Ray. You seen that one? I remember liking it back in the day. So yeah, that was sort of the thing, like when I saw that edition, nice and compact and really cheap, I just couldn't turn it down. Should we do the last one of those that I've done, sort of? There's actually another one, but it's Discotek, but whatever. So this is my old now edition of Blue Gender, which I'll be getting rid of. It's a really, really nice set. I really like this show, by the way. It's just a sci-fi mecha, sort of mecha. It's mainly sci-fi, but I do put it in my mecha section. It does have mecha in it. But it's a really, really good like sci-fi light horror series. Like basically like these giant bugs, alien bugs coming down to Earth and like just eradicating humanity, and yeah, humanity making their last stand. And there's a bit more to it than that, but it's really good. But yeah, this is a really nice set. Like, comes in like a proper like hard clamshell. Unfortunately, the bit of plastic, I think there's a bit of extra plastic that's supposed to be here that I must have lost at some point. Must have popped off, and I just never noticed it again. But yeah, it's like a hard digibook, like plastic digibook, and it's got all the discs. There's a lot of discs in this set. It's 9 discs. We got 8 volumes for the TV series, and then 1 for the movie at the end, and then just nothing in the final bit there. But yeah, this is a nice edition, but it's a bit wide, and there's an edition that came out as part of the Viridian collection that Funimation did that I've always loved how it looked, in theory, but because the entire set is made out of card, it's one of the Viridian. I think like the first like initiative for the Viridian collection was to like do like recyclable packaging. Because I've got a couple now, and like yeah, a few of them, they're not always, it's not always good for protecting the discs, but because there's like no plastic in these cases at all. But like yeah, like the whole thing is made out of card. But they look really, really nice, and there's a few of them that I've got to say. I think that was the initial initiative. It was also part of the initial initiative with these sets as well, like Viridian Collection. And you see on the back the logo right there, if I can get it to focus. It says Funimation Green. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. You might have to squint. But yeah, Funimation Green. So it was like a green initiative back in like 2008, 2009 sort of time. Maybe a little bit later, I can't remember. But anyway. Blue Gender got one of these sets, and finding this set in good condition is a freaking nightmare. If you search for this set after I show it to you in a minute, which I will eventually. If you search for this set on eBay, you'll find so many that are just in absolutely horrendous condition. Like they've all been trampled on over and over and over again, or the slipcover bit will just be completely missing. So I've had like a saved search on eBay for a couple of years, and I'm sure some have come by in like decent enough condition, but like when I finally did those orders for Claymore and Solty, I was like, okay, let's check Blue Gender once again, and I finally found it in good condition. So here is my new copy of Blue Gender. It takes up a little bit less space. It's still double wide because it's got 9 discs in it, but as you can see, it's about, I don't know, half, maybe not even half, 2/3 as wide. It doesn't save a lot of space, but the set itself is just so cool looking. Like, I know the show's called Blue Gender, so the blue and blacks work, but I don't know, I just think it looks really cool, and like, yeah, I just really love like the psychedelic like colour palette that does match the show, like the sort of like the bio horror elements of the show, with all like the green you know, plants and weird shit that they get attacked by. Yeah, is reflected in this, and it's also got the shiny Viridian bit at the top. But yeah, finding this in good condition is so hard, because I say it's made out of card, so you can really just press it. And yeah, so there's the slip cover, which is really difficult to just get at all. Like for some reason, so many of them are missing. And then you've got the inside set, and it folds out with all the discs inside. Again, not the best for the discs, admittedly, but you know, I think we'll be alright, we'll survive. So yeah, so yeah, it's got still got all 9 discs, different artwork as you might have noticed, nicer artwork in fact. Yeah, but yeah, it's got the whole series plus the movie. The movie is just a retelling of the series, but it's like not a complete just re-edit of the series. Like it actually has new animation in it and is slightly different in places. Especially the opening, I remember specifically, was quite a bit different. Yeah, Blue Gender is really cool. I really, really like the series. Another one I'd like to do a rewatch of soon. It's a really, really good mecha light horror series with just really nice animation, like late stage cell animation. It probably has digital effects in it. I don't know if it'll ever get a Blu-ray, because it was like 1999, 2000 when it came out. So yeah, it probably does have digital effects in it. I don't really remember, but I'm sure it does. So yeah, maybe a Blu-ray is not possible, but it's a really nice looking show. Saying that, I really don't like the character design for the main character here. I don't know, it's just a bit weird looking, and he looks weird in the show as well. I get used to it, but that's actually one of the major differences. I believe in like in the movie he looks quite a lot different than he does in the TV series. But anyway, yeah, I don't know if you agree, but I think this is like one of the nicest looking sets that Funimation ever did, and that's why I very much wanted to get it, especially since I can sell this for probably the same price that I bought that for, and yeah, so it seemed like a worthy thing to do for me. Here's a quickie. This is one that previously was put out by Discotek, and I missed out on it. I don't know why I never prioritized getting it. It's in a Sao Takahata mini like movie things. There's like 2 of them from the early 70s. I'm sure you've guessed what it is already if you know your stuff. Panda Go Panda, but this is the GKids version. I say I don't know why I didn't pick up the Discotek version. That's more of that I don't know why I didn't pick up the Discotek version way before, like when it was, you know, long in print and had been for ages on DVD and Blu-ray. I think once it was announced, I think like Discotek didn't necessarily say their version was out of print. It just became a thing of like, well, GKids have got the license now, so their version's out of print. And the thing about the GKids version is it's the remastered version. So yeah, this one is supposed to look a lot better. I've put it in. I was a bit worried that it was going to like, oh, maybe this one doesn't have film grain or something, and they just like DNR'd it. Like maybe it's a 4K remaster, but maybe they didn't DNR'd it or something, and whatever. But no, it looked pretty good to me. It looked fine anyway, so I don't know if the Discotek version does look better or not, but this one looked fine, so I'm happy with it. Not watched it yet though. I only watched like the first few minutes. The dub seems out of sync. I wonder if it's just because it's an old dub, but like the dub doesn't seem to match the mouth flaps very well. I don't know. Has anyone else got this release? Is this a thing? Is anyone more in the know on this? Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Something that never ever occurred to me until I started watching this, and I literally just watched the opening credits. I was like, oh, this must be where they got their own. This is when they started their own inspiration for My Neighbor Totoro, isn't it? Like, look at the panda. That's just Totoro. Look at the girl over here. That's just the young girl from My Neighbor Totoro. Like, it's probably a bit like that. I'm not wholly, I imagine. But yeah, it's just 2 like 30-minute films, done by Sao Takahata. But yeah, like, see the girl over here, the panda and stuff. I don't know, it's very Totoro-esque. But yeah, this comes with a dub as well as a bunch of extras, I believe. Well, there you go. From Mimi to Heidi, from Papanda to Totoro, interview with Sao Takahata. So yeah, I'm sure he goes into that as well. Panda Go Panda exhibit, the impact of Hayao Miyazaki's image boards, and a conversation with Sao Takahata and Hayao Miyazaki in 1994. And trailers and previews. So yeah, it comes with a dub on both versions of the movie. It's just Panda Go Panda and then Panda Go Panda Rainy Day Circus. And I think it runs about 30 minutes each or something. Well, 71 minutes, so maybe 30 and 40 minutes. Anyway, so yeah, Panda Go Panda. Hope to watch it relatively soon. Blu-ray DVD combo. So yeah, just something I'm sure I'll stick in relatively soon and finally knock this one off the list. If I still haven't actually watched every Studio Ghibli film, as ridiculous as that is. I've seen over 2,100. I've seen over 2,100 anime entries on like my anime list. Still haven't watched all the Studio Ghibli. Still haven't watched Sailor Moon or the original Dragon Ball or Panda Go Panda. Some of these ones that feel like I should have done those long ago, but haven't yet. But I don't know, there's a lot of anime out there, guys. Okay, this one's still sealed because again it only came yesterday, so I haven't actually opened this yet. This one's a bit embarrassing because not really that embarrassing, but there's a bit of FOMO on this one. I picked up Stellvia. Stellvia of the Universe, I think is what it's called on the DVD sets and stuff. But yeah, Stellvia on Blu-ray from Discotek. It's just gone out of print. I literally saw that message and thought, like, from like WTK. I thought about it for a little bit. It was still in stock on Crunchyroll, so I knew I had to make the decision there and then. And I decided, okay, I'll get it. I ended up picking Panda Go Panda up at the same time, I believe. Yeah, so I decided to, I decided to get it. It's embarrassing because I've already owned this release before. Like, I literally already owned this Blu-ray. I got it second hand. on eBay UK, pretty cheap, like 20 quid, like cheaper than what I paid for this. But I didn't like how it looked. It had like the smeary line detailed like upscale that a lot of early SD upscales had in Japan. It's something that used to really bother me, but over time it's something I've kind of gotten more used to. Like, I still don't like the way those shows look when they're upscaled, a lot of them, but I've sort of gotten more used to it. Should we open this? Let's open this. This is an old Discotek release for a couple of reasons. They obviously only ever did one print run of this show, which is why it obviously wasn't a great seller for them, because it's been out for a long time, but as you can see, like, no curved slip cover, and it has like that on the top, like the old, I don't really know what those are, like the factory sticker things, like for sorting stuff or whatever, I can't think of the right terms. But yeah, like those aren't something that Discotek do anymore, and haven't for like a long time. So like this only ever got like one print run, clearly, and never sold out until it eventually got low on stock, and they, you know, announced it as out of print. We're not going to print anymore, obviously, because it took that long to get to low on stock. But yeah, so it's a slip cover, and take it off. And we got the inside artwork. But yeah, I got this second hand on eBay, put it in, wasn't impressed with the God, this, you know, I used to be the master at doing this. Apparently I haven't done it for very long because I just messed it up entirely. Normally, no, it's not happening today. Normally I can get that off in one go without it ripping at all, but apparently that's not going to be a thing today. Got it all off. But anyway, completely lost where I am now. But yeah, what was I saying? Something along the lines of like, clearly wasn't a great seller for them or whatever. So yeah, it was unfortunate. Is this a, no, it's not Gonzo. Is it Z-Back? Yeah, the people that, yeah, Z-Back. So I quite like Z-Back. I've mentioned this before. I kind of like their take on like mecha and sci-fi. Like, I really like Fafner. Big shout out to Dynamic Dylan for that. He's the one that got me onto that show. But I really like Fafner. I want to do a whole rewatch on Fafner so I can go through all the newer stuff. I've seen like the original series, the movie, and then the 2 series from like 2014 or something that never got physical releases. They were on Crunchyroll once upon a time. I don't know if they are now. But since then they've done like a new OVA series, like Azure, and the movie, which I think finally finishes the saga. And yeah, I want to go through the whole series like that. I really like Fafner a lot. Like, I've watched the first couple of episodes of Fafner as one of those things I put on in the background a lot. Like, I can tell you with no shadow, no doubt in my mind, that the first line in Fafner is, "Are you there?" I just know that so well, that episode. Like, you come through like the clouds or whatever, and you just hear this like echoey, from the dub anyway, like echoey female voice coming through saying, "Are you there?" Fafner is really cool. It's kind of like an Evangelion type show for sure. It's actually kind of also, I don't know why we're talking about Fafner, we're holding Stellvia, but we'll go with it. Fafner's really cool. It's kind of like a reverse on Razafon. If you know the plot to Razafon, where they're like, they believe they're in this place and everything outside them is destroyed. In the world of Fafner, it's the opposite. Which I won't go further into it because you know, while that's a revelation relatively early on, like, I don't want to go and touch on it too much, but it's basically the opposite of that. Anyway, whatever. Fafner's cool, you should watch it. And so Stellvia's pretty good, but yeah, so I owned the Blu-ray and put it in, smeary upscale, wasn't impressed, and I already had this edition. This is the Gideon Tin edition, which I still am not going to get rid of, because it looks so freaking nice, and it doesn't take up much space on the shelf. So this is the Finpack re-release. It's kind of weird though, like, I don't know how this worked out originally. I think you bought this, and it came with like all the Fin cases, with like the volume front covers, basically like that. So, like, yeah, this is the front cover for volume 7, and that's the front cover for volume 8, and then you would take your volumes discs and you would put them in like that. But I think you still had to buy the volumes normally, and then this was an option that you could purchase instead of like a normal art box. You would purchase this, and yeah, and these are the inserts I believe that came with my volume discs, so I just put these in there as well. But yeah, I believe that's how it worked from Genian. And yes, it's a really nice looking tin and really nice looking artwork. I love how this works, if I can remember how to do it though. Yeah, like that. So, yeah, just a really nice looking set. So I was like, well, this is fine, I'll just keep this. Like, the DVD quality is fine, doesn't have any of the smeariness, and this set is relatively compact. But long story very much short, I couldn't avoid the FOMO on this. I don't know, I was just like, man, this is never ever going to get re-released. And that's kind of one of the things. Like, there is some real genuine FOMO when it comes to Discotek stuff, because you know that, I don't know, 95% of what Discotek put out will never come out again. Ever. And this is one of them, like, because this clearly didn't sell very well for Discotek. So this is never going to come out again, so don't expect it to. Like, this literally will never come out again. I'm fairly confident in that. Okay, so the last of the Funimation stuff, this is something that I didn't necessarily envision myself picking up. I've always been curious about this series because PA Works worked on it, and if you're not aware, PA Works are my favourite studio. At least these days, at the moment, they're my favourite studio, and it's kind of been my goal for a while to watch everything they've ever made. I'm about halfway to doing that. Like, it's also something I don't necessarily want to, like, just do and just literally go and watch it all, because I don't, like, it's a fun thing to aspire towards, and, like, I don't want to, like, just knock them all out and then not have anything left to watch until they make more, which they inevitably will at the moment, but they're not going anywhere anytime soon, thankfully. But yeah, as a studio, I really like their stuff. This is one that they made, but they made in conjunction with another studio. It's not necessarily like a full PA Works show, but I don't know, it got a physical release, it got a dub. I figured I'd give it a try. It's not a million miles away from a series that I would, like, enjoy, but there's certain elements of it that make me think, like, I might not like the show a whole lot, but I'll give it a go. So I picked up A3, which is an abbreviation of Act, Addict, Actors. Yeah. So this is some Baishonen shit right here. This is about a bunch of very good-looking young men who want to act, obviously, in a theatre group, I believe, rather than on television and stuff. And yeah, but as this, you can see on the back, from the PA Works, from PA Works, the studio behind Angel Beats. But yeah, it was also worked on by a studio called 3 Hertz. So yeah, I'm not sure how much it definitely is a PA Works show, but yeah, these are still brand new and sealed. These also only came yesterday, so we can open these together. I can't remember. I think, weirdly, maybe I'm wrong, I was thinking that Autumn and Winter were actually the first season, but maybe they're not. Because obviously, Winter, in our minds, is like the first season. It's because of anime and stuff, I think of it that way. Although, in many ways, it is, obviously, in the real world as well. But, like, it's just one of those things. Like, growing up as a kid, I always thought of winter as the end of the year. But obviously it's a crossover between the two. But yeah, but in the case of this, so I think spring and summer is season 1. So, but yeah, really nice artwork. I really like the character designs of PA Works shows. It's one of the things I find most appealing. And my favourite thing that PA Works do is the Working Series, which is a series of shows that follows normally a young woman, well, always a young woman, moving to somewhere new and starting a new job, and that's basically what the shows are always about. And this isn't that, but it's sort of tangentially, like, adjacent, if any of these words make sense, to that sort of thing. Yeah, and I also really like hobby shows. Like one of my favourite genres is sports shows and hobby shows and work life, slice of life type of stuff. It's sort of a bit like that. So I figured I'd give it a go. And there's also, obviously, it's PA work, so I wanted to watch it anyway. So I figured, well, I'll pick up these physical copies where I can. Hey, look. Don't need those anymore. Never did anyway. But, yeah. Some nice artwork. So, yeah, and dubbed into English, obviously. As I said, these are on clearance. I'm not sure they're still in stock anymore. They probably are. But, yeah, they're on clearance at like $26 each. Not a crazy good price, but the price I was willing to jump in at. So, I know these are about acting. A bunch of young men trying to get into acting. I don't really know much more about it. Mankai Company and its theatre have seen better days. With a Yakuza loan shark eyeing it for demolition, Izumi finds herself trying to restore her father's old theatre, but can her new all-male troupe go from amateurs to actors in time? And then Season 2, shall we just not really look at Season 2's synopsis, even though it's only like 2 lines, but we'll just avoid that. But yeah, again, it's a nice artwork on the inside. Shall I not rip this one up for historically preserve it as a artifact of the past? But it's the disc art. I assume them wearing costumes from their plays and stuff. But yeah, I don't know how amazing this will be, but I thought I'd give it a go. Again, like I said, I really like hobby shows, so, and I really like PA work stuff, so I thought I'd give it a go. I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing on that because I kept thinking, kept struggling with things to say. So if there was a load of jump cuts in that, that would be why. Okay, we're almost done. Next up, we got a few Nozomi things I picked up before they went. Well, one of them I actually didn't pick up before it went out of print. It cost me a little bit more than I wanted, but this one I picked up because I don't know, I just added it to my order because I was like, well, I don't know, it's like £12 or $12.50 or something. It was really cheap, so I'll just get it. So I picked up a series. I have no idea if I like this a lot, but even if I don't, in the future I'll be able to sell it for more than what I paid for it. So because it will be out of print at that point. So yeah, I picked up Rental Magica. Not the sort of thing I imagine I'm gonna like very much. I don't really like magic anime, to be honest. Like, it doesn't really appeal to me a whole lot. This seems like a bit, I don't know if it's like in the realm of like Harry Potter and stuff, like a magic school. Sort of looks like that. Destroying supernatural monsters, dispelling dark magic. It is all in the day's work for the mages of Astral. I can't remember. However, after the mysterious disappearance of their company president, they're left in the lurch. His son Itsuki begrudgingly fills in, but Itsuki's unfamiliarity with magic could spell bad news for Astral. I can't say that for Christ's sake. Especially with their rival Goetia vying for the very same contracts. As the jobs grow ever more dangerous, they soon find out that staying in business is at least their worries. Okay, so it's not a magic school, it's a guild, I guess. Guilds for hire. But yeah, this is a series from like 2007, never dubbed, originally put out by Nozomi Entertainment on DVD in big like chipboard cases and that, the FinPack chipboard cases, and then eventually got like a compact DVD release. And then towards the end of their life they did a Blu-ray, just upscaled obviously. I'm not sure how good this looks. Oh, comes with a mini episode guide. Oh, that's interesting. So yeah, Rental Magica episode guide. So apparently there's a broadcast order obviously, and then there's also a chronological order. So different choices of how to watch the show. That's really interesting. Complicated though. Wait. This 1 episode, this 2 episodes, this 3. Huh. That's weird. So did they done like both options? Or what? So it says this 1 episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, chronological order 2, 5, 6, 4. Oh no, maybe it's just like, okay, if you, oh jeez, you're gonna be swapping out discs all the time. Holy crap! Because then it says this 2 episodes. I can't really show you at the same time as reading it. 5, 6, 7 chronological order 11, 1, 3. What? What? I'm gonna have to look into that a bit more. Has anyone watched this show? Did you attempt to watch it in chronological order? Did you watch it in broadcast order and it made no freaking sense? Because that's a bit extreme. That's quite a bit different. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Really nice disc artwork, red and black. Never goes amiss. It's just a fantastic colour combination, especially with white as well. So yeah. Again, like I picked it up because it was like $12.50 and I figured why not? Basically, if I really like it, what a great purchase. If I don't, I'll be able to sell it for a profit. So yeah, that seems like a complicated watch though. But yeah, Nozomi Entertainment stuff going out of print has been like a real bummer. It just seemed like it just kind of quietly happened. Like Crunchyroll or Sony, I guess, bought the Right Stuff store. In turn, I guess, also bought Nozomi Entertainment. And then they've just basically shut Nozomi Entertainment down without ever really talking about that being a thing. Like, and they haven't mentioned if they're going to bring any of these shows back under their own umbrella, as you know, re-release them as Crunchyroll. I imagine a lot of it they won't. You know, stuff like this, they're not going to bother to re-release under Crunchyroll because fuck, they won't even release half the shit they're dubbing at the moment. There's so much stuff that they've put like licensed, streamed, and put out dubbed that they're not releasing, but yet they're releasing subtitled isekai shows. The stuff they didn't even bother to dub, they're putting out physically because it's a fucking isekai, and apparently that still sells a lot somehow. But like, stuff they've literally dubbed isn't even getting releases at the moment. So like the chances of this stuff coming out is like non-existent. It's possible another studio, you know, an anime go, but again, like we're running out of studios. Like Crunchyroll, Funimation, and Nozomi used to be basically 3 different studios. Sort of. Crunchyroll never really did stuff until they merged with Funimation, but like, yeah, that's 3 studios into one, or you know, 2 into one. So that's one studio we've lost. Like Sentai are barely hanging in there. Viz Media are doing some stuff which is kind of cool, re-releasing, well, putting out their normal shonen stuff, but also releasing, you know, some stuff that they've seemingly licensed off Crunchyroll. Discotek are out there doing their thing. Animega have popped up, but like Media Blasters are, you know, doing the odd thing here and there. But like, yeah, it's sort of getting a bit. I don't know. There's less and less studios around, and like seeing the Nozomi stuff just completely all go out of print all at once. Like it really took me by surprise. There's a few things I really wanted to get from them that I just don't think I'm ever going to be able to get. This was one of them, and I thought I'd missed out on it. They kept putting this on sale, and I wanted to buy it, but it was really bugging me because they would never put it all on sale at the same time, and I don't know why they did this. It's super frustrating that they put half of it on sale, and then the other half would remain like full price, and then they like switch it over and do it the other way. And it was kind of this thing of like, well, I was just waiting for it to all be on the sale at the same time, and that never happened. And then I sort of forgot about it for a bit, thinking, oh, I'll get it later, maybe when they put it all on sale at once, and then it just disappeared. And I was like, fuck, I really wanted that. I mean, I took too long to get it, admittedly, but I really wanted that. Now it's gone. I don't foresee it coming out from Crunchyroll either, really, to be honest. So yeah, thought I was going to completely miss out on it, but fortunately I was able to track these down. Not at sale prices. I had to pay retail prices, but only retail prices, thankfully. I didn't have to pay crazy money. Some of these are quite expensive now. But yeah, I was able to thankfully pick up the complete series of Aria, the Right Stuff released on Blu-ray with the new dub and everything. I'm so glad I got this because I know I will like this show. Like I've wanted to see this show forever. I wanted the DVDs for a long time, and I was probably gonna suffice trying to find those at a price that wasn't crazy, and going, well, I won't have the dub, but at least I'll have it in DVD quality. And I do know that the Blu-ray doesn't look that good. The Blu-ray is upscaled and it looks kind of rough, to be honest. It's going to be one of those things, well, I've got it, I've got the dub, which is what kind of, you know, the reason why I really wanted these. I'll just have to forgo the fact that the video quality is not that great. But yeah, fortunately, I was able to pick these up. These are all out of print. You can still get season 1 for normal prices, but everything after that you're going to be paying upwards of like $80 to like $200 each, which is insane. But this one you can still get for like 30. Little tip. This is the other thing this is the thing I probably would have done. You can buy all these in the UK. They're region B only, and they'll come in like fat cases with a BBBFC rating on it, which I hate, which is why I wouldn't have wanted them, but that's what I would have done. That's what a sensible person would have done. But I wanted these American versions if I could find them. Unfortunately, I was able to do so. So yeah, here we have season 1. It's 13 episodes. It's like a 2007 series. This is way more sci-fi than I ever realised. Like, I watched episode 1 and I thought it just took place on like a fantastical like planet somewhere, like, you know, just a place, whatever, you know, nothing specific. That was sort of like, you know, Venice, right? What the fuck? I totally forgotten what it is. Yeah, a place that's like Venice. I totally blanked on Venice. I have that, like, just like, what is that place called? I knew it began with V, but I couldn't think of the word. I kept thinking of Vienna, and which I knew was wrong. That's Austria. But so yeah, I don't know why I blanked on Venice, but I did. But yeah, it's like I just assumed it was kind of like just took place in somewhere like that. You know, a city predominantly surrounded by water. The main source of travel is, you know, to go by boat or gondola sort of thing. And that's basically what this is. Yeah, welcome to the Aria company. So yeah, like, you got basically like this taxi service that goes on gondolas and stuff, and that's kind of it. But yeah, it's actually like super sci-fi in that, like, the main girl here with the pink hair, she like travels there on a spaceship. Like, not like traveling to like distant frontiers or anything. Like, she's just traveling from planet to planet, from her own planet, home planet, to like a different planet to go and work in this place and stuff. I just had no idea. I didn't realise it was like anything like that at all. I just assumed it was like some, you know, fantasy series where, you know, just in a place surrounded by water. I didn't really ever think of it more than that. Anyway, whatever. So yeah, it's based on a long running manga, and there's a lot of it. So yeah, yeah, this is like an Ishike series, like a chill slice of life series. It's about little episodic-ish stories about the people, and it's just light comedy, really beautiful music, just total zone out, chill out show. I really, really like these type of shows. So I really wanted this show, had done, like I mentioned, for years and years. I thought I missed out on these Blu-rays. Thankfully I haven't, as mentioned multiple times. So that was season 1, 13 episodes, and there's a ton of extras on each one. It comes with like interviews with the English cast, commentaries, more interviews, mini like things, like mini animation things, commercial collection, trailers, and then here we got Aria the Natural, which is season 2. This is 26 episodes. This is part 1. I believe this is like the one that's almost impossible to find at the moment. But yeah, I was able to track it down, thankfully. So yeah, Aria season 2. I'm not really sure I'm going to bother showing the disc art because it's basically the same every time, which is unfortunate because there's some really nice art for this show. There's a beautiful art book in Japan that I'd like to get, but I feel like I should probably watch the show first. But yeah, it's Aria the Natural part 1, and then Aria the Natural part 2. And again, yeah, same disc art. So yeah, the dub seems pretty good, thankfully, given that's, you know, the whole reason I decided to go out of my way to get these releases. Not so crazy on the extras on season 2. Promo video, English commentaries, interviews with the original creators, Aria, the World of Sound, cast reflections on Aria, and then yeah, the same for the second disc. There's also, or second set, there's also a round table discussion. And then we got probably the coolest set of the lot. So this has the final season, Aria the Origination. It also comes with the OVA Arietta and Aria the the oh boy, Avenir, Naya, Avvenire. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to pronounce that one, unfortunately. But yeah, the cool thing about that one, I assume that one looks really good because that one was made in like proper high def. I don't know how many of these were made in proper high def. I don't believe these first 2 seasons were. It's possible that season 3 might have been, but if Nozomi had like access to that, I don't know. It does still say 1080i, so I'm gonna guess probably not. Yeah, so I assume everything apart from the very final OVA, the AVVENIRE, Avenii, wow, I can't say that at all. Yeah, that was in 1080p. So yeah, but everything else 1080i upscale. And that's the other thing as well, like the fact it's 1080i, so it's interlaced upscale, like eek. Not great looking, but anyway. So yeah, there's the final part with the same, oh boy, we lost a disc. Oh yeah, the teeth on this one is broken annoyingly, so that's why that fell out. Same disc art again. It's really a shame that all the disc art looks exactly the same, but whatever. I like the spines. I always like the spines on these. These are pretty much the same as the DVDs. I always liked how those looked. Okay, so this is way too long a pickup video, but hey, I did one at least. I'm sure after editing it will be mercifully at least 5-10 minutes shorter. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go, because yeah, I'll probably just mumble on otherwise. So yeah, I'm Baze, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.